there, lovely listeners, and welcome back to Reasons to Care, the podcast all about heartwarming stories and making a difference with Disabilities, Dorset's disability charity. I'm Claire, one of the managers in our children's team.
And I'm Michelle, a deputy manager in supported living. This month, we've got Chelsey with us. We're going to be talking all about day centres. Chelsey is the manager of the Beehive, which is Disabilities Day Centre for adults with disabilities.
And it really is a hive of activity. I'm really looking forward to finding out more about what goes on there each day and what it's like to work there.
It's such a fun place. I used to work alongside Chelsey before I moved over to supported living during COVID, so it'll be fun to relive those memories. And of course, if you're inspired about working in care, listening to the podcast, don't forget you can check out career vacancies online at any time at disabilities.org.uk/careers.
Thank you for joining us today, Chelsey. First of all, could you tell us a little bit about how you joined Disabilities and how did you get to where you are today?
So I have been working at Disabilities for 20 years this month. I started off in supported living for a few years before I moved over to what was Barnabas and is now the Beehive. I've been heavily involved with the charity for many years since I was small. My grandma was the CEO of the company and my mum used to run Smithers, which used to be Lily's place. My mum also used to run an Acorn group at Langside every school holidays, which I used to go and help out at. So lots of the people that come to the Beehive now, my mum used to support as children. So I have good relationships with a lot of the people that attend and their families. So yeah, been heavily involved with the charity for quite a few years.
It must feel like you've grown up within the charity.
Yeah, literally, times were so different back then. At the age of 10, I was able to go and help out and push the wheelchairs and even feed some of the people we support. Where there's so many health and safety stuff now, you can't do that. But it was a great opportunity for me to sort of see what my mum did. And unfortunately, I lost my mum when I was 12. So it's a really good sort of link to my mum side of the family. And I love it.
Do you think it played a part in you wanting to go into this career?
Absolutely. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Before I left school, I did my work experience at Langside.
Right.
And yeah, I knew that I wanted to work within the charity. There wasn't any vacancies when I left school, which is why I went to supported living for a couple of years before I moved over to Barnabas.
So that was something I've learned today, because I didn't know that you'd been at supported living first.
No, I didn't know that at all. So yeah, definitely. New knowledge.
Yeah, but I think it's really important, and I know we've spoken about this before within our podcast. I think it's really important that actually, my boys definitely knew where I worked and they used to come along with me when they were little, even just to pop in and play with the kids or have a cup of tea or what have you. Because I think actually, if we are going to change the tide and we're going to try and think about recruitment into care, because we know it's difficult, I think it has to start with that younger generation, doesn't it? Yeah. And we've talked about it before, how important it is for children to have that connection and to know that there are people out there with disabilities, and they go to day centres, they go to school, they go to maybe respite or what have you, because actually we might be able to influence people that young to decide, actually, that's the career I want to go in. Because very much like you, I knew from a very young age, because of my background and experience, that's where I want to be. So I think it's really important that it's not just about, anybody listening today might think, well, actually, I want to get my children to be around people that are disabled or what have you. And I'd say reach out,
It's breaking that stigma, isn't it?
Absolutely.
As well. And one of the things that when I was at the Beehive, I really wanted to do was to start the people that we support going down to a local nursery, just so that it completely broke down the stigma of somebody who does have a disability. And yes, so you can start that interaction young, and then actually it might be something they want to do in the future.
Yeah, I think so many children are scared of disabilities because they're not around, they don't know, why they're so different or why they can't talk. Why are they in a wheelchair? Why are their hands shaped a little bit funny, And it's just, it start that passion young, when they're there and they're like young sponges soaking it all in. Definitely giving that passion a little bit earlier is really good. And one of the things we do at the Beehive is we take people on work experience and their college. So we've just had a couple of ladies just finish their college placement. And again, it's really good to give them that insight into what we do and give them that experience so that they can then go ahead and go, yeah, I do want to do that as my career and move forward. So
and hopefully come back and apply.
Hopefully, yeah. You never know.
So what is your role within the Beehive?
So I'm the manager at the Beehive, so just oversee day-to-day running of the Beehive, making sure staffing is at the correct levels, making sure the staff have the support that they need to be able to deliver the care at the high standard that we sort of expect.
And for anybody that is listening that doesn't know, what do you do at the Beehive, Chelsey?
So the Beehive is described as a social centre for people to meet and make new friends and acquire new skills. So we support a wide range of people at the Beehive, some people with quite complex needs, needing one-to-one support and sometimes two-to-one support, right down to people that have mild learning disabilities that may just come to the Beehive to socialise and to join in with activities. So we offer a wide range of activities within the centre. So we always have 2 activities running at the same time. And we try to do sort of educational activities alongside some sensory activities. We have a fleet of 6 vehicles, so we are out and about in the community all the time. We have sort of set activities that we do on a weekly basis, and then we have sort of sporadic activities that might be one-off things. And yeah, we're always open to new ideas. We have meetings with the individuals every month to see whether they've got any ideas or know of any other events that are going on that we can get involved in. We like to work in partnership with a lot of other people. So Colton Care, we have a really good relationship with them at the Oldbury, which is just over the road from the Beehive. And each month we send a small group over there to go and get involved with singing and dancing sessions. I think last week they were playing a balloon game where they were just hitting the balloon back and forth with some of the residents there. But it's really nice.
Nice.
So how would you say the Beehive maybe differs from what somebody might have as a vision of what a traditional day centre is? How would you say you're different?
So I think a stigma around day centres is people envision elderly people in high-backed chairs, sitting in a circle and drinking tea all day. That is most definitely not what we do.
It doesn't sound like it.
So we support a wide range of ages as well, which is quite important to say. We do have a few guys leaving school or have just left school, so sort of 19 onwards, and the eldest person that we support is 65. So it's a real range of ages, and like I said, they're all ages, different abilities as well. So we are always lively. We always have music playing. So whether that's music therapy or karaoke, music is such a fabulous activity because it doesn't matter what ability, everybody can get involved, whether they're singing, rocking or using an instrument or just watching the more able-bodied guys have a great time. We always get picked up on the atmosphere at the Beehive, that it's always very happy. Everybody's always laughing and joking.
So I will say when I'm at Lily's place sometimes and we're like, oh, there's some karaoke going on. Isn't it called Ralphioke or something?
Ralphioke, that's the one.
And we're like, oh, it sounds so much fun.
Yeah, there's always lots going on and no day is the same. I think that's what's kept me interested all of these years, is that there's always different pressures. But the main thing is everybody's leaves and they've had a happy day and a big smile on their face. That's know when we've done a good job.
I think that's something that's coming up as quite a regular theme, actually, isn't it? Within the podcast, talking to people from elsewhere in the charity, it's most people have said no 2 days are the same, and I think it is maybe what keeps some of us that have been around a really long time keeps us here, because it is fresh, it is exciting still, because you never know what to expect when you walk in the morning, do you sometimes?
No, you honestly don't. Every day is completely different, and it keeps you excited, keeps you like, well, what's coming next, and keeps you on your toes.
I think for me, when I was working at the day centre, so everybody coming in really happy, smiley, but then also leaving. They've had a really good day and really excited to go and share what's gone on with family and friends, really, which was lovely.
So you've obviously been around a really long time. Chelsey would be in one of our lifers,
She
wouldn't
is.
she?
She has a lifer, yeah.
And actually probably even more so because of all those years that you weren't being paid to work on the books as such, all those years of experience that you were gaining beforehand. So you must have some amazing memories. Have you got any favourite ones?
So every 4 years, we have an awards evening for the people we support. We theme it every year, and each of the people that we support are given a trophy and a certificate for something they've achieved extra special in the last sort of 4 years gone past. We have a big sit-down meal. Everybody gets dressed up and have a bit of a party with their family, which is a really nice event, and everyone looks forward to that.
This is a great event. Like, I have been at a couple of these events, and it's just really lovely to see the people we support feeling so proud of their achievement.
Yeah.
And just getting to celebrate that. Do an amazing job with organising and for the people we support. So obviously you said, Chelsey, at the Beehive, music is a massive part, which definitely is. I know from being there, there's always some sort of music going on. What sort of other activities do you have? Because I know obviously you've got the therapy room now and you've got the sensory room. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Yep. So in the building, we have a large training kitchen, which has 3 sinks, 3 ovens and 3 hobs, all which sort of move up and down so that the wheelchairs can get right in close and get involved as much as possible, even with the washing up, because that's very important too. So we do a couple of cooking groups each week, and the individuals will choose a recipe from a book and go out and get the ingredients and fully be involved in making whatever they decide to do, and either eat it or take it home, depending on what it is. We also have our large main hall. So that's where all of our big group activities happen. We've got some sensory lights in there on the ceiling. We've also recently had a projector and screen put in, which is really great for when we're doing our karaoke. So we can have the lyrics up and everyone's singing along. We've also got our therapy room, which is a designated room specifically for getting people out of their wheelchairs. So we have 2 physio beds, 2 achiever beds, and all of the equipment that we need to get people out of their wheelchairs, such as standing frames, walking frames, bean bags, comfy chairs, flat mats, whatever it is the individuals need to have time out of their wheelchair, we'll make sure that happens on a daily basis. And also part of the new build was our sensory room. So we have 2 different parts to the sensory room. So we have our little snug area, which you sort of standard sensory room where you have the fibre optics and the bubble tubes and all of those sort of things. And then we have our sensorium. So this is a really special room which has 4 projectors on the wall, which project all the way around you, with 4 speakers in all corners, top and bottom, and some transducers under the floor, which basically enables you, for people that are deaf or hard of hearing, can feel the vibrations of the music rather than listening to it. So the room is really adaptable. We can do lots of different things in there. We can paint the walls a different colour and have some music playing. So it's a really nice environment to have a discussion group or something. We can also choose environment. So you could go and sit on the top of the Alps with it sort of being projected around you with some nice calming music. There's also an interactive section. So there's they're called funky fish, and they track you around the room. So again, encouraging guys to move, do a bit of exercise, and not really realising it, having a bit of fun, really. So that's quite fun. Then we also have some immersive videos, things such as swimming with dolphins and a rocket taken off into space, which is really, really cool when you get to feel the vibrations on the floor. Yeah, sort of real different sensation. And then the last thing they can do in there is hook it up to Apple TV, so they can have access to YouTube or BBC iPlayer, so they can find their favourite band or, soap that they want to watch, and they can watch that in there as well. So really versatile room that it doesn't matter what ability or age everybody will find something that they like in there. So yeah, that's really cool.
Sounds like a great space.
It is a lovely space. It really is.
So every episode we have a myth that we discuss. So this episode's myth is adults with disabilities cannot lead a full and productive life. So let's have a discussion about it. Chelsey, what do you think about that?
Strongly disagree.
Yeah.
Very
and I
much
get
so.
you must see that every day.
Yeah, I think people aren't given enough credit. So we support a wide range of people. And just because people have complex needs doesn't mean they don't understand what's going on around them or understand the conversation they're having.
I guess you've just got to work harder to get to know that person and understand how they might be communicating with you in whatever way they may do that, and get to know what they really like and dislike. And then that opens up so many doors, doesn't it? To then be able to say, well, they really like doing this, so this is what we're going to do.
And so many times you hear when you do recruitment, sometimes you will hear, oh, well, how do they, because they can't answer back to me, but how can they actually? Well, actually, if you get into their world and understand understand, like you said, eye gestures or anything, hand or anything, just talking to the person, you will open up like the whole world.
Absolutely. Using the individual's preferred method of communication is key. Until you get that, you're not going to understand what they want, what they need, what they're trying to express to you in some way, shape or form. So, the main priority is getting to know that individual, how they can communicate, and then, expanding on that and putting on.
Misha, how about you? Because obviously from a supported living point of view, what's your views?
It's frustrating me. It frustrates me greatly. And I'm definitely for one when we're in a team meeting, or if there's even, something new happening, about just getting to know that individual. So the shadows are really, really important for across all our services to get that time of gaining all knowledge on the individual, likes, dislikes, and working with the staff that know them really well, to sort of then promote their voice, really, because they've known them for so much longer. But what we have introduced in supported living is a new staff induction almost, but it's a real detailed introduction. So the staff member with the lead or with whoever familiar with the person supported will go through that in depth and just make sure that they know that person really, really well.
I think for me, obviously having Anna, I definitely look, she has a great life. She's always off out and about. This weekend they went to Swanage and she had chips and went to the amusements and had a coffee, and I was really jealous because that's like one of my favourite days out, is to go to Swanage and go to the amusements. And we were always getting photos of her making cheesecake or sitting in the garden having a nice cup of tea. So I think actually she's fine. She's having a great life.
I met Anna, didn't I? A couple of weekends ago. It was we were in a garden centre, and I just heard a noise and I was like, that is definitely Anna. And and she was having the best time, definitely. And so it is lovely to see. She told me all about her day, and then wanted to know all about what I was doing.
You were doing.
Yeah.
So I think we could probably say that we have busted that myth as being incorrect. I don't think a myth's ever got us yet,
No,
has it?
it hasn't.
We've always had an argument for one.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just the way you look at it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So every episode, we have a happy jar. So I think I've got children's here, Claire, as per usual. At the model village, a young person didn't want to stay. Anxiety was really high and he wanted to leave. Staff managed to get her to stay and she even let her mum leave. What was going on there?
So I think it was somebody who was relatively new to coming to our services, and she arrived and she was really anxious because obviously it was somewhere new, it was new people. We always say to parents, you know, for that first session you can hang around in the background, but mum was like, she's not going to let me leave. And she was with Georgie, who is one of our assistants, and Georgie worked really hard at trying to reduce her anxiety. I think she got the emergency double out. So we always carry double everywhere with us because it's such a great icebreaker. You don't have to talk about anything. You can just sit down one-to-one and play a game. So Georgie started playing double with her, and then gradually, naturally, conversation started to grow. The young person obviously was put at far more ease, and mum was able to move away and go into the cafe and get a cup of tea and have a break. And for her, she was like, this is never going to happen, but it did. And so
such a big thing for mums.
Just to be able to be in a different room and having a cup of tea while she knew that her daughter was, you know, well looked after and happy, and then has now since been coming regularly to project sessions. So she's obviously feels happy and comfortable and confident being with us. So for us, that's like a real massive achievement. So
yeah, I can imagine.
Okay, let's see what I've got. I have got 2 people visiting Abba Voyage. One of them found the noise too much at the start, but thankfully bought ear defenders, allowing her to continue to enjoy the show. And the other person has never danced so much. So I'm guessing this has got to be adults.
Yeah, Abba Voyage has gone round all the services recently. So I think one service did it and then another was like, oh, you know, got back how amazing it was. Yeah. So we've had quite a few trips, but this trip in particular, it was, I think the staff team were a little like, it's quite a long way. How are the people going to manage? But they went with 2 people, again, who know them really, really well. So we're able to sort of take extra precautions, so ear defenders, because it is really loud.
It's really loud.
I took
Anna and I didn't have ear defenders, and it was touch and go, and then it was too bright, but luckily my friend had sunglasses, so we put those on her. And so yeah, the setup though for the place, I will say big shout out to them, because their accessibility is incredible. We felt like royalty, like we were escorted to a car parking space, walked to our seats, and then walked back to the car at the end. Like, amazing. Yeah. But yeah, it's just really loud and bright.
Yeah, she definitely. Although I know that this particular person came back and was just absolutely overjoyed that she could go. And the other person had never danced so much and was aching the next day from coming back. But yeah, they had a really good time. And that's what it's about. So, you know, Abba Voyage is in London. Obviously, that is a little bit. But, you know, some people may turn around and go, well, no, we can't do that. And actually, this staff team were like, this is what they want to do. How can we achieve it?
I think if you link that back to our myth, that alone, that memory alone busts that myth, doesn't it? Because that is about living their lives. You know, I would think nothing of going to London to see a show, probably like most of us wouldn't. And okay, yeah, it takes a bit more work, but it doesn't mean to say it can't happen. No. So amazing stuff.
Indeed.
So Chelsey, you've already given us a memory, so I'm going to put you on the spot again for another memory for our happy jar. There's been many years. It's got to be something.
So every Wednesday afternoon, we pay for a lady to come in to do a seated Zumba session. Her name is Mandy Hill, and she is amazing. She knows all of the individuals' names. Every session she'll come in and say hello to everybody and let them say hello in their own way. And then she starts the session. The session is so popular that nobody attends the other activity that's going on. So on a Wednesday afternoon, we do just have Zumba going on and some quiet time for people that want to. but there's not many people in the quiet time because Mandy is so popular. So she gets everybody on their feet if possible, getting them to move their arms and legs, really getting them to do as much exercise as possible, but having some fun music on. And she would change it up every couple of weeks as well, so the guys don't get bored of what's going on. But
it's amazing.
I know about Zumba because a gentleman that goes to the Beehive then comes to get weighed in supported living after he's been at the Beehive, and we have our own Zumba session. So he gets us, whoever is in the room, he gets us to stop what we're doing. There's no excuses. You can't say you've got a bad leg or you don't want to. It's absolutely, and he will do his own Zumba session for us on a Wednesday.
Oh, I love it.
Actually, it's really lovely. We really look forward. I mean, we look forward to all the guys coming in, but Wednesday, just because he just grips everybody. And yeah, you are not getting away from the Zumba session. So thanks, Mandy, for your... I only add, I mean, her Zumba session is way easier than the one I actually do on a Wednesday evening. So yeah. But yeah, no, it's good fun.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Chelsey. It was really interesting to chat with you, and it's great to share more details about the Beehive with our listeners.
It was really nice to hear about what's been going on. I really enjoyed my time there, and the team of people we support are all fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Reasons to Care, the podcast from Disabilities, Dorset's disability charity, all about what it means to work in care.
We'll be back again with you soon, so make sure you subscribe for updates. But in the meantime, don't forget to follow Disabilities on social media. Check out our vacancies at disabilities.org.uk/careers. And we'd love it if you could leave a review if you've enjoyed this episode.